Hello, everybody. My name is Diane Covington, and I'm the very proud director of the Dynamite Unit. My class today is called Nothing Happens Until Somebody Sells Something, Closing Your Sale when you have your virtual sessions, because I do know that closing is different virtually versus in person. Quick story about me. I joined Mary Kay Cosmetics over 25 years ago, mainly because my sister was selling me everything at full price. And I was a broke college student. So I joined truly just to get the discount, wasn't intentionally planning on doing anything with this career. Finished my master's degree the next year and was working a corporate job. And now I wanted a way to pay off my college debt. So I started just moonlighting maybe one party a month, if that, and ended up kind of falling in love with the opportunity, walked away from my corporate job 2.5 years later, earned my car, my first diamond ring for sales court with my full-time job. And now I've been full-time Mary Kay ever since. Have had 2 kids, raised them, paid for college, cash, private schooling their whole lives. And so my kids were able to graduate not only from all of elementary and high school private education, but college as well, all paid cash for, thank goodness to Mary Kay. I do want to love on my unit. They have been women of excellence since the day we started as a unit, women of integrity, vision, passion. We've earned 14 pink Cadillacs as a unit, and I just couldn't be more proud of the women that God puts in my path, that I have the ability to impact them, but they truly impact me every single day with their texts, their highs, their encouragement, their challenges, and we all listen and help each other and get to the top in this business. So I want to share with you a little bit about working virtually. And I have to say, when we went COVID back in March, I've always been somebody who loves the product, absolutely loves the product, which is why I think I've been so successful in this business. And I do know that when I would be at your home, sitting across your kitchen table, whether it be a one-on-one or a group of you and your 5 friends, I didn't have any problem at all getting you to look at the closing sheet at the end of the pampering session and circling everything you'd love if it were free. And then I know the 8-point close forwards and backwards. And if you don't know it, Google Mary Kay 8-point close, or feel free to text me and I can send that to you. But I know how to close in person. You've got body language involved. You've got all of that involved. And now with virtual, you don't have that. You don't have them sitting literally across from you. And sometimes, depending on the kind of sessions you're doing, you might even have women who don't know each other gathered together. So I just noticed the first couple months we went virtual. I did have a Zoom account already. I did know how to screen share. I wasn't really confident in what I was doing, but I thought, well, you know what? This can't be, I'm either going to learn it or I'm not. And I can either just decide to swim or not. And so I'm going to share with you some things that I gained from, and I hope you will gain something from my weaknesses and how I was able to pivot some of that stuff and get some great results. So here are some things I noticed right off the starting gate. I would sometimes mail packets out and couldn't get people on the call. But most importantly, when I had them on a watch party, meaning no samples, or if I mailed samples out, my sales weren't as high per face as they were before. Now I expect my sales to be just as high with the samples because they are experiencing the product, and it's so different when they can touch their skin and feel the results. So I was concerned, or I was reflective on, why are my sales not as high per person? I also wasn't getting referrals because I wasn't asking for them. I have like the games that I play when we are in person, but I didn't do that virtually at first. And I also noticed that I wasn't getting their personal information. So it was a lot easier for me to provide A1 customer service when I had their email address and all of their contact information, the month of their birthday, all of those things that help you develop a relationship to provide great customer service. So let's go back and talk about closing the sale. So here's a couple things, and I'm going to refer to 2 different types of parties. And I'm sure you guys may be doing way more than this, but this is pretty basic, which is how I roll. One is a watch party, meaning that you may be doing a watch party. It could be your 5 favorite products in 5 minutes. You've probably heard about that new format. Maybe it's a watch party that's an hour long that you do a lot of screen shares, or maybe it's a session with samples. So I look at those differently. The close is a little bit different because the skincare, when they have samples, I do sell more in sets than any other way. So let me share with you a little bit of the difference. So here's some things that I learned kind of at the starting gate that I didn't do. So number one is I went and got a whole bunch of envelopes that were big. You don't have to get these. These are just 6x9. I got pink envelopes when we went COVID because I thought, who doesn't want to get a pink envelope in the mail, right? And I just write with a big fat Sharpie, beauty session pampering. Now this is if I'm hand delivering it. Obviously, if I'm mailing it, there would be a mailing label on here, but sometimes I decorate the back. Couple key things that need to go in there with your samples. Super important is give them a wish list. I know they could use a blank piece of scratch paper, but anything will do that just says my wish list and it's numbered 1 to 14. You don't need this form. It's literally, it just says my wish list at the top. And I literally have them pull this out the second we get started. So you are going to want to provide them with a wish list. Second real important thing is you want to give them some kind of a closing sheet. No matter what set sheet you have, if you want to use the set sheet you use when you go to their homes and do that normally, you can absolutely do that. I found because I'm not demoing satin hands and I'm not demoing satin lips as much, I took some of the sets off because I found the first few times I used it, it was too many sets to choose from of stuff we hadn't tried. So I just have a different closing sheet. I'm happy to send this out. This is most of the stuff that we use virtually or we talk about virtually. So give them some kind of a closing sheet. Why? Because you want to offer them an incentive. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. The third thing I do include in my packets is the fabulous referral game. And if you just type in on Google Images, Mary Kay, the fabulous game, you can play whatever game you want for referrals. But I do find it helps you close the sale. It helps you close them on team building a lot better. Okay, so let's talk about why do you want them to have a wish list? So let's say we're starting a session and you all have samples. I would say, you guys, welcome. I'm so excited you're here tonight. Grab your pink envelope. If you haven't yet ripped it open, please rip it open. You are going to want a pen or crayon or something fun to write with. And I said, you're going to want to grab immediately. And I have them pull out the wish list and the fabulous game. And I say, now this wish list is your memory jogger. It's something I want you to write on throughout the entire Pampering Tonight. If we try a product and you go, oh my gosh, I would love to have this every day, just put it on your wish list. It doesn't obligate you. This is kind of like if your fairy godmother was going to come and sneak in your bathroom tonight while you were sleeping, what would you want her to leave in your bathroom? That's going to go on your wish list. Absolutely no obligation to purchase it. I just want to know, what would you love if it were free? And that's exactly what I say. And so throughout the presentation, when they're doing their cleanser and I talk about the sonic brush, I'll say, if you guys are in love with that cleanser, make sure you write that down. And I do talk about sets, just like if you were doing a person, in-person party, I hold up the miracle set. I talk about how it's the biochemists make it to work together, how important it is to take care of their skin. I really, really stress skincare, like a lot. And I screen share stuff about skincare. So those are some things that I think are really, really key. So as we're going through, because a wish list, in my opinion, is key to how you close them. So as we're doing the presentation and they're getting pampered and we're being goofy, when the charcoal mask is drying, hopefully they're writing down. I'll say, now you guys don't forget at the end, I'm going to ask you for your 3 to 5 favorite things on your wish list. So start filling that up. So I just keep saying that. And I want to encourage them to keep writing. If I see that people aren't writing, I will remind them and say, remember, you guys, your wish list is everything you'd love if it were free. If it were free, it's for me. So write down everything you love. And this is also helpful as a memory jogger because you might screen share while the charcoal mask is drying. Let's say they don't have samples or you're not doing the hydrogel eye patches on that party or that session, but to talk about hydrogel eye patches while the charcoal mask is drying, they might think, I want to try those. And that might make their wish list, even though they're not trying it. You might also talk about the eye makeup remover and demo how easy it takes your eye makeup off. They may not be trying that, but it could make their wish list. So it's really important to the close of the sale to romance other products. Look for your key products, the high volume sellers, the eye makeup removers, the charcoal mask, the sonic brush, the skincare, those type of products, Microderm, glycolic, radiance peel. So you definitely want to include a wish list. Okay, so now when we get all done, we can do compliment time, but what I do is I want to go around the Zoom call, whether there be 2 people or 15 people on, and I say, I want you to touch your skin and I want you to tell me, what do you love most about the way your skin feels or looks? And then tell me the 3 to 5 things that are on your wish list. Now, if it's a big group, you may not have time to do all that, but it definitely had them go around and share what some of their favorites were and how they would best describe their skin. Now, when we get done with that part, how do I work into the actual closing sheet? I'll say now, I want to thank you guys so much for being on. Let's say it was today during the day. I'd say, I want to thank you for being on today. So as a thank you, I want to offer you some specials. Now, these specials are not from Mary Kay Cosmetics. These specials are from me because I want to thank you for your time, for spending the last 45 minutes with me. I want to offer you some specials. So these specials are good for 24 hours from today. So if it's, a noon session, you might say, these are good until noon tomorrow. I give them 24 hours. Why do I do that? Because these are special prices that I don't normally offer. And I want to give them, and I let them know that I'm giving them these specials from me, not from Mary Kay, but they're from me as a thank you for their time. So then I will go through the sessions and I'll say, now grab your pen. And as I go through each set, I want you to circle it if you would love it, especially if it were free. And I just walk them through the sets, and I will give this sheet to Katrina so you guys can post it, but feel free to make your own. This is not a magical sheet by any stretch of the imagination. Now, one other tip that I got from $1 Million Director, and I apologize, I don't remember her name, but I got this tip about 2 months ago. I just started doing this and it's really, really working. So when I start a virtual session with samples, I bring out a product that they are not going to try and I romance it. I try to pick something that's relatively easy to mail because 99% of the time, it's not something I'm dropping off. Most of the time, it's something I'm mailing. So I've been doing like foundation primer. So imagine this, we're just about to start the party and I'd say, by the way, you guys, would it be okay if I shared a product with you that we're not going to demo tonight, that I just really think you guys would be in love with, and maybe we can try it at your next session? In fact, you know what? I'd like to give one away free tonight. Does anybody like stuff that's free? So this is at the very beginning of the class, you guys, you get them excited and they go, I want something free. What is it? And I say, oh my gosh. And I pull out a tube of the foundation primer. And I say, this primer is amazing. And I tell them what it does, how it works. I might even demo how to squirt it on my fingers and how I gently put it throughout my face. And I'll say, this is amazing. It absorbs shine and all the bells and whistles of what primer does. And I'll say it retails for $20. But you know what? Who would love to get this for free today? And your goal is to have everybody like put their hand up or go me or whatever. And I'll say, I'll tell you what, and I'll pick somebody, usually my hostess. And if there's not a hostess, just pick anybody on there that, and I'd say, Claudia, could you remind me at the end to tell you guys how to get this for free? Because I'm going to actually send you guys a Google form at the end. And everybody who submits their Google form to me, it's super fast. It's multiple choice. But everybody who submits a Google form to me within an hour of our session will get in the drawing. And one of you is going to win this. And I will text everybody within the hour who wins the foundation primer that I will mail to you. Okay, so let's get started on doing your skin. And then I would go into the skincare. So I've already planted the seed of a Google form. I've already talked to them about how important this, what a great product this is and how fun it's going to be for them to earn, to get, somebody's going to get it for free. And at the very end, Claudia will say to me, oh, by the way, Diane, don't forget to tell everybody, how do we get that primer? And if she doesn't say that, I leave the primer right here in front of my camera to remind me. I'm thinking, why is that sitting there? And I'm going, oh, that's right. That's the gift. Sometimes I'll even tie a bow on it so I don't forget. And I'll say, okay, by the way, you guys, this is when the party's done. I've talked about the closing sheet. I've talked about their wish list. And I'll say, now here's the deal, you guys, when we get done, I'm going to text you guys each a Google form. If you were not invited on today's session by me, meaning that somebody on the session invited you on, and maybe you didn't know she was inviting somebody on, because sometimes that happens, I'll say, please put in the chat section your first and last name and your cell number so I can text you the Google form and the specials. So if it's a sample party, again, a sample party, you're going to include a wish list and the closing sheet in physically with the samples. It's super, super important that they get those actual physical pieces of paper. Could they use a piece of scratch paper? Sure. Will they? Probably not. So I include both of these in the packets with the samples as well as the fabulous referral game. Okay. So when it comes to selling in sets, one of the things that I do is on my Google form. So I say to them at the end of the party, I'm going to be texting each one of you guys a Google form. Please text me back and let me know that you got it. Because sometimes with texting, they don't go through for some other reason, who knows, but sometimes texts don't get to them. So I say, please text me back a thumbs up or an emoji or something. And also text me back. When you text me back your thumbs up or your emoji that you got the Google form, text in there that message also the time that's best for me to contact you tomorrow. Now, if this is the party at 7 p.m. and we're done at 8, then I'm going to text you guys all out that form immediately and say, thank you, here's the Google form. I'll be notifying you within an hour who wins the foundation primer. Please submit this, ASAP, or, you have an hour to submit this. I'll let you know who wins the primer. And then say, PS, when you receive this text, please text me back an emoji and let me know what time tomorrow is best for me to reach you. All right. So I have that text pre-done already. So we log off Zoom at 8. They have their packet. They physically have a closing sheet. They physically have a wish list. They physically have the referral sheet. I text them what I just said to you, thank you and all of that. Then I end up giving them, I'm sorry, you guys, my timer just turned off and I'm like making sure that I'm like right on time. Okay, sorry. So when I send that Google form to them, it's asking them, if I don't hear back from them within 5 minutes of me texting it to them, I will retext it and say, did you get the Google form and the earlier text? And they might say no, and then you'd send it again. But that way, 100% of them got a Google form. They're all hopefully texting you back with the emoji saying, I got it, and then what time tomorrow to reach them. If they don't text me back a time and they just send me back a smiley face, I said, what time is best for you tomorrow to catch up? What time before noon tomorrow is best for me to catch you? Or what time before 8 p.m. tomorrow is best for me to catch you? And so and then again, in that text, make sure you say that, fill out the Google form within the hour. I will text to all of you who won the primer. So here's what happens is if you give them a certain amount of time, now I did it the first time, I gave them only 30 minutes to submit that Google form to me. And what was cool is that within, I think we had 6 people on that session that night. Within like 5 minutes, all of a sudden my thing was going ding, ding, ding. It was like I was getting text notifications that a Google form had been submitted. So that's really a cool way to do it. So you want to include the wish list. You want to have a Google form. You want to talk about the importance of skincare as a set. You guys already know that from basic. And if you're really, really new, talk to your director about selling in sets and this importance of skincare, because you guys, makeup is fun, but let's be real. Skincare is going to get you the loyalty, the results, all of that. And the goal would be for the new year to have 10 new people, 10 new skincare sets this month minimum. So if you aren't tracking that already, starting January 1, who new can you get on skincare? And it might be a customer that's been buying eye makeup remover and charcoal mask from you for a year, but she's still not on skincare. She would be the first person I'd reach out to. Okay. So again, you want to talk to them a couple times throughout the session about getting together for your second appointment. And I do mention to them about they're eligible for a half off shopping spree. I'm vague with that because I want to see who's interested. Those are the people I rebook. That's that's what I offer as a hostess incentive. So I'm just looking through my notes. So text the Google form, offer the drawing for the one product that you're going to give away. Now, this is if there's samples. So now let's talk about watch parties, because we do a lot of this. And I think the biggest challenge for me in watch parties has been, I put it out there on my VIP page. And I say, oh my gosh, if you invite a girlfriend, you even get more entries into our drawing, because at every watch party, I give away stuff. I have drawings, right? Well, okay, so picture this. I invite Victoria. Victoria invites a coworker who I don't know, and the coworker invites her sister, who I also don't know. So Victoria's the only one I know, but there's 2 people on here. So we're on a session, and maybe you know that 5 are jumping on. It turns out 9 are on there. So you might have a pre-done thing that you can type in the chat section that says, my name is Diane Covington. Super excited that you're on. Please type in your name and the name of the person who invited you on. So if they go on and they type in, my name is Susie Smith and Diane invited me, I know they're my guest. But let's say they'll say Victoria invited me. Now I know that my customer Victoria invited them. Okay. The other key thing with watch parties is, because you don't have a package to them, you have no personal information from them. You don't know their name. You don't know how to reach out to them. And nothing's worse than having a bunch of people on a watch party and then you have zero ability to follow up. So I would say in the chat section, I have a special Google form, and I'm going to be giving a product away tonight. So please make sure in the chat section you put your name and your cell number so I can text you the Google form to get all your feedback. Okay, so you're really, really enforcing that. So then everyone asked me, so what should be on a Google form? So I'm going to tell you some things that I put on my Google form. First of all, I didn't even know how to find a Google form, let alone how to make one. So gang, if I can figure this out, trust me, so can you. But here's a couple of key things I put on my Google form. I put a picture of me at the top, and introduce myself. I just said, hi, my name is Diane Covington. I'm your Mary Kay Beauty Ambassador, whatever. If you require certain fields, then they cannot answer the survey will not get submitted without those fields. So some of the things that I required is their name, their cell number, and I put after your cell number, I said only shared, not shared with anyone. I asked them about what skin type they have, and it's multiple choice, like dry to normal, combo to oily, blemish prone, whatever. And then I asked the question, what is my biggest skincare issue or beauty concern is, and then it's blank. And then I ask, and this is their wish list. Now, again, this is great for a watch party because I don't know any of this stuff. I didn't send them samples. I didn't pre-profile them. So in order for me to send out a packet, I do talk and text every single person. So it's a totally different connection. But if you're doing watch parties off your VIP page, you want to be able to follow up with those people. Otherwise, you're doing watch parties and the sales are going nowhere. So I put on my Google form, I know you've heard about several products during your virtual session. Please take a minute to list at least 5 Mary Kay products that you would love to have in your bathroom someday or receive from somebody shopping for you. This is your wish list. And do you know, as soon as I put that on my Google form, everybody fills it out. Everybody puts their 5 things on. So you definitely want to do that. Now, the other thing that's, in my opinion, vital for closing a watch party is to have some kind of a closing sheet. So you could just pick Collage or Canva, whatever you want, and put a picture of the products that you're featuring at your watch party. So the reason I have this closing sheet is because I had one that was for repair, one that was for 3D, and I had all these different closing sheets, and that wasn't working for me. So I made one that has most of what I'm demoing, but on a watch party, I do random stuff. I'll do like waterproof, like the top 10 most popular things to have for looking glamorous during the winter or whatever. And like during the holidays. So I would put on there things like the liquid shadow or the waterproof eyeliner. And so I had products on there that are not on my typical closing sheet. So I would just take a pic collage and I would put a picture of a Mary Kay model from a lookbook in the middle. I would just say my top 10 favorite products. And I would feature the product with the price. So it would say like hydrogel eye patches, 30 or 40. And then it would say waterproof liner. So it would list the product with the picture around the pic collage. Why is that important? Because as soon as you're done with the session, you're going to text that out. That is their closing sheet. And so as people log in, say, please put your name and who invited you on and your cell number in the chat section, because I want to make sure to send you a Google form. We're going to be doing some fun drawings, and that way I can also mail things out to you guys. I'm super excited. Thank you for all being on. So as you guys can see, if it's a sample party, just to recap, because we've only got a minute here, to recap, in a sample party, when you send out the samples, I strongly suggest a closing sheet, a wish list, and some way to ask for referrals. And I also include the team building flyer, but we're not even going down that road. If it is a watch party, because we're doing a lot of watch parties, you want to be able to connect with them. So a Google form is really important. And on that Google form, you can even post your closing sheet for that particular watch party. If you want to, you can actually change the closing sheets on your Google form. Okay, so the most important thing is to follow up. I've noticed ever since I've been doing this that my sales are a lot higher per face. I'm seeing people at least 2 times, if not 3 times. And if they're on a watch party, please promote a sample party. So on my watch party, I say, oh my gosh, you guys, next Friday, I have the most amazing pampering session. If you are interested, type in the chat section the word pink envelope, and I will reach out to you, find out what skin type you have, and I will get a sample pack of self-care or self-care sample pack of skincare and spa samples to you so you can experience this in the comfort of your own home. People love that. People love getting those packets. So with that said, I hope this has been helpful. Please make sure that you are loving what you're doing. And also screen sharing is really important. You want to screen share your closing sheet. And when you're doing a watch party, I think screen sharing, a lot of before and after pictures are key. Where do you find those? You go to Google Images and you type in Mary Kay microdermabrasion before and afters, and a whole bunch will pull up. Just make sure that they're credible, that they are actually Mary Kay people that are documenting things, and that they're something that you can share. I hope this has been helpful. I will tell you guys, it's all in follow-up and developing a relationship. So everyone that's on a watch party is potentially your future customer. Have a great day.